Косты, может быть, стоит избавиться все-таки от ПЛа или от Морфа, может даже. Может, против Пака, думаю, можно играть? Пака,
Я
думаю,
думаю,
против Морфа, да.
Не, у них ферспик, у них закрывающие во второй стадии, им нельзя банить ни ПЛ, ни никого из таких, кого можно прикрыть.
Можно подбанить лишь Рака и забайтить на бан ПЛа.
Можно забанить Лешака, и они сами возьмут ПЛа на третий, IG.
Ну ты уже ПЛом против Пака не очень хочешь играть.
Ну, это да, как бы можно играть.
Только осторожно.
Мне кажется, тут что-то мы ПЛ не...
Странно, что без... Рубика забанили.
Рубик это просто ни о чем не говорит. Просто бан.
Рубик ни о чем вообще.
Рубик.
Какую-то из четверок, да, вот. Только Виверна у нас пока дожила из таких стилей.
Там на самом деле IG Sky какой-то. По DLC линию.
Да,
Ой,
Sky не так плохо.
Sky вчера показали нам секреты против Пака. Пак просто... Там Найтсталкер Sky.
Лицо сильнее. Просто четверок реально немного.
Шейкер еще жив.
Верно лич, ну как-то... Ладно, нормально.
Шейкер
Типа со Скайм у них сильнее линия. С ЛЦ будет.
Sky хорош здесь пока.
Ну, все так же Леон еще есть против Пака, если очень хочется проконтролить его.
Ну, Леон плюс Лич ты не хочешь сетап суппортов.
Ну, зато Бёрст дуэль есть. Сильный очень.
Против такой дуэли Шрака забанили и взяли ПЛ. Сами IG так сделали.
Да, это было ясно, то, что так могут сделать.
Против Пака.
У них открывающие.
Ну, на самом деле, все тот же самый Underlord. Играли без
Еще
против...
давай всех героев оффлейн наберем, а потом будем разбираться, куда Дум, куда Пак, как в прошлом. Я против. Магнус, опять же, против ПЛа. Нормально под Пака, без костом. И в кэри можно поставить и в мид.
Пак может быть коровым, не знаю, куда, на четверку сместить.
Я думаю, Пак тройка для Лелиса. Иду играть от...
Можно Тимбер. Ну, реально, вот, например, берешь Тимбер, вот что вот эти три героя ему сейчас?
Тимбер или Магнус опять тоже имеет.
Либо Магнус с милишником, но Сларка нету.
Магнус самостоятельно ему...
Не, кстати,
он уже редко пересекается с кэри, чтобы давать импауэр для фарма. Это раньше был сильный импауэр, сейчас
да
он...
понятно, что это как обычно коровы, но ты играешь против ПЛ, ты можешь добрать еще лишнего милишника, который будет с импауэром, который с ним бороться.
Кост у нас любит вейрочку взять, ластпиком против лансера, вот. Якобы.
Таких это как Секрет играли с этим, с Магнусом.
МК они тоже любят.
Против ЛЦ он нормально на линии, против ПЛ он хорош. Типа его
любят,
подсвечивает, АУЕ, под ну это если Магнус ПЛ. Ой, Магнус МК, если будет.
И рвать Дримкоил, и уже 100% получается у нас... Ну, вряд ли идти не Дум сделать связку суппортов, это медовой пак будет, получается.
Ну, вообще на пятерку.
Дум тройка, идти не... А может, Пака на 5 сместит?
А вот Скай плюс как раз подготовился.
Ну, Скай ожидаемый был.
Ну, я не знаю, почему они не брали ни Тимбера, ни Андерлорда, но вообще вот эти два героя тут. А сейчас у них огромное количество этих троек,
хотя,
четверок.
В принципе, Оракл просто не так плох по игре, но на линии... Ну, я не знаю, что по линиям у них будет.
В прошлой игре тоже не очень понимаю, что по линии. Они сейчас все...
СД, кстати, нормальный. Можно и ПЛом иллюзиями отпушивать линии, блять, вот эти от дуэли. СД не так плохо. Просто у них линии будут слабые. В этом, типа, проблема. Но, наверное, на линии уже не стоит смотреть. Надо по игре
уже, да, сильная
Мы
линия.
ищем ответ на ПЛа.
Против ПЛа пока только один пак, и все. А убивать нечего.
Магнус должен быть. Лорд против ПЛа.
Вот,
но это не убиватель, это для лайна просто.
Это Дум Керри?
Это Керри Дум от Киевана, да?
Да, это реально Керри Дум.
Это реально Керри Дум с Battle Fury против ПЛа.
Думаешь? Может просто с радианцем?
Он бывает.
И на 25-м берет Клифф, да, еще?
Конечно.
Конюшня.
Единственное, вот они, получается, Тини 4 и пак медовый на Last Pick 5, это не очень.
Так и есть.
Ну, типа на Last Pick 5 оставлять.
Пак 5, получается у нас.
Ну, когда у тебя не last pick, я имею в виду не 22-й, то почему не оставить и... Ну, как бы ты забрал всех, кого хотел.
Не, скорее всего, смотри, они этого Дума сделают таким стоящим полусоло топ, пойдут в сложный андерлорд пак просто спамить, а Тини на 5 будет просто ради того, чтобы отбрывать дримкойлы и прибегать в мид и тосать и убивать мид. Я тебе говорю, так и будет.
Я все это слушаю и просто не понимаю.
Но так и происходит.
Но Beastcoast именно так и думаю.
И когда в Перу всю жизнь проживешь, я не знаю, что в твоей голове будет.
Хотя бы годик поживи там. Перу.
10 seconds.
Из широка убрали.
Понял, бан.
5 seconds remaining.
А может вообще Тиник у нас...
5, скорее.
Dire team.
Да пак 5 будет.
Паку все-таки хочется здесь видеть агоним, чтобы Тини полезно тосал. А Тини будет свободно. Пак по карте не сможет перемещаться, если оставлять соло Дума, понимаешь? Так,
А может реально
выбор.
пак 5, который в топе выйдет этого Ская? Первый скилл шифтом.
Особенно сейчас Скай через
Секьюри.
вторые вообще
10
качаются.
seconds remaining.
Дум тот герой, которого одного легко оставить. Тини по карте, если будет, он сделает пользу. Пак, если будет с 5 двигаться по карте, он ничего не
Мне
сделает.
кажется, они, думаю, 5 сделают, пака в мид, и сейчас мидера доберут.
Керри-то хотя.
Radiant team.
Да. Чуть запутался.
Я сам запутался.
Главное, что у Beastcoast все по плану идет.
Я уверен, что они до конца сами не понимают.
Из этой сборной солянки, может быть.
Я думаю, что Кейван говорит, я на Думе спокойно отжарю на мидере.
У них две иконки на оффлейн просто стоят, думают, андерлорд.
Ролить будут ролить, кто куда полает.
А Тини на вражеский лес иконку.
Last Pick Beastcoast'ов сейчас, минус Темпларка, минус Эмбер, мидеров поубирали.
Remaining.
Ну, и не удивлюсь, если опять Магнус будет медовой какой-то. Вообще что, если это Крислак, это может быть Бруда, которая здесь, в принципе, только легионка ее останавливает.
Возьмут.
И это может быть
Найджина
Манки
вниз.
Кинг, вот из того, что из его сигнатурок. Больше не могу назвать.
Вот, да, 5 у нас.
5 Бейн,
Пятерка.
Бейн Дум в легкое, Пак в мид, Тини 4, Андерлорд оффлейн. Просто супер агрессивный пик, без лейт потенциала.
Ну, как без лейт?
Дум 25
Ну,
Нет,
на 30
У
минут
них
у них тут
потенциально есть 3 БКБ
Потенциально
контроля.
Думпак это очень сильно. Плюс Андерлорд, если там что-то постакает пассивку.
Сейчас IG берут что-нибудь типа Тинкера,
Не знаю.
встают на ХГ.
Подождите, а вот мы думаем, что Дум Керри, а не может быть андерлорд Керри? Просто пойти в легкую
Может быть,
Кейвану?
может.
А может быть Тини Керри, а Дум на 4.
Нет,
Арк
Тини
Варден,
Керри,
что ли?
Аркварден.
Я не знаю,
ну все, тут
Как они... Все.
всего доброго 2-0.
Не знаю, тут и паку тяжело, на самом деле. Ты пака, если делаешь мином, вот мы говорили, против Скай тяжело играть, но по игре всегда
ЛЦ
качает.
есть тоже.
ЛЦ, да. И добирается этот Арк Варден, и теперь вообще непонятно, как Beastcoast тут запушат и за 30 минут закончат.
И как они будут
Не,
добираться
шансы
до этого
есть у них,
Арквардена?
типа, подраться хорошо, если у них линии. Если вот линии
Да, линии разорвать,
простоят,
1010 вести, тогда можно, да.
то
Там.
даже, я думаю, 5, если будут вести, они там пойдут по Т3 драться. Вот
Да.
если у них получится так, то есть аут выиграть.
Там
а
на
так
ХГ
нет.
не заходить, не так, что ты бьешь товар, а просто по Т4 сразу забежать, всех убить
И
потом
драться, да.
снести, да. Вот.
Я за здравый смысл за это.
Хорошо. У нас начинается вторая карта, возможно, последняя карта для Beastcoast, но кто его знает. Драфт интересный, необычный, и как его реализуют у нас ребята из Перу.
Доброго времени суток всем, дорогие друзья. С вами Растута и Каспер.
Правда.
Это
мы.
правда, да, это мы. И IG Beastcoast, карта номер...
Prepare for battle.
Interesting. Greetings!
Down you go.
Both these teams have already secured themselves top 8 at a major, but it's top 6 and above that really helps your journey to the international. You go from 450 points here to getting knocked down to 900 or more as you get top 6 and above. Beastcoast They've already done a good job placing top 6 at TI. They don't want to end their major run here against IG.
Definitely not. But this is one of those lineups that's a very much a Beastcoast special. I don't think any other team in the tournament is going to do anything like this. The K1 Hector Doom, safe lane carry, and they've used it to try to beat a PL in the past. I don't know if I believe in this, but if there was somebody that can make it work, it would be him.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to go out, they might as well go out on their own terms, right? And such a unique strategy that Beastcoast has certainly made their own. See whether or not it's effective, as once again, they're left in a situation where they are going to have to win the lanes and move from there. But do they have a better chance at that, Kyle, winning the lanes?
They should. I mean, you've got Bane and a tiny support duo against a Lich Skywrath, so you should have a slight edge there. IG don't have nearly as many stunts as they did in the previous game. The draft will be a bit slower. You have a PL Arc Warden, of course. And Beastcoast definitely able to ramp up the aggression. But to your point, you've got to do well in the laning phase. Up top, Skywrath LC versus Bane Doom. I'm not sure how this one will go.
Stinger. He's going to be on the front lines here and going to be trying and tanking all those hits for the Doom. That way the Doom can get those higher levels. Chris Luck committed to be able to kill Emo's Courier. A good start here. Did take a little bit of damage in return, but I'm sure it's well worth it to keep the Arc Warden's regen from flowing.
Up top, this lane is all about trading. At Beastcoast, you have the Devour Sustain for the Doom and the Spam Brain Sap from Stinger. So very tough for Skywrath to get anything done up here. Kaka is going to most likely look to be rotating a bit. I'm surprised they did put the Chris Luck puck mid.
Drops the nuke. JT going to try and go for Stinger a bit, but they have such a big creep wave pushing in. They don't really need to commit too much. Chris Luck earlier willingly had his salve canceled by Emo in order to trade a little bit. He's going to try and abuse that Courier, but a Courier is still a long ways away. So while it's away, Chris Luck actually even getting hit by that Spark Wraith. Emo's just going to abuse him for this time.
Doing really well so far. No surprise, though, to be honest, after watching Emo play that first game. He was dominant pretty much all throughout.
I think Emo is just one of those players that he's certainly shown himself to be high risk, high reward kind of style into the mid game, but his aggressive style when it comes to the laning phase seems to prove very effective against a lot of these opposing mid laners.
And Chris Luck, no stranger to that either. He jukes the Spark Wraith, so he will keep his salve for just a little bit longer. Top Stinger taking some pressure, has a big stick.
And he's going to turn around on Kaka. That's one of the beauties of the Bane pickup. Such an efficient hero at trading thanks to the Brain Sap. And it is creating the space. Hector is currently top of the CS board right now, 13-0. Of course, Fly is getting plenty of free farm himself here in the bottom lane with a few more denies against Lelis.
It is so tense. Chris Luck keeps taking a ton of damage. Emo's already been forced to use 2 salves, same with Chris. And they're just consistently playing aggressive. Both heroes, CS, suffering just a little bit because of it.
It seems like a Chris Luck versus Emo matchup is always destined to be right on the edge at all times. Both players on the edge of potentially losing. K1 Hector actually going down at top lane as Kaka picks up the first blood. Already the Beastcoast carry off to a bit of a rocky start from the pressure of this Skywrath Legion lane. Classic dual lane. Lelis taking some damage here as well. Fly making sure to stay in range to be able to get those Frost Armor hits.
He's got the second point in Lance too, looking to make a move. But nope, they'll just be content forcing both bottom laners off the lane. And once again, it's IG jumping out to an early lead in the laning phase. All 3 lanes top of the CS.
Oh, they do get the Frost Armor for Hector, so maybe that'll make a difference. Back over to bottom lane. Once again, Lelis is being abused. The Tiny isn't here to be able to bail him out, so it's looking like Fly has an easy kill on his hands, 2-0.
At Lich plus any sort of melee carry that has a reach mechanic, Ember, Slark, PL, the top 3, it's near impossible to outlane these guys. And it's not just the CS the advantage comes from, it's the denies. Already 9 up on the PL. And they've got lane
Look
control
at this,
too.
Chris Luck. He's trying to commit for the kill. He has the flux on him. He's going to be forced to pop the fairy fire. There's Spark Wraith he has to jump away from. Locks down the kill with a concussive shot before the phase shift could come off.
So close, maybe a quarter of a second away from surviving. Perhaps even less. Looked like 1 or 2 frames would have been enough.
Schofield does have Avalanche and Toss ready to go, but only has the mana for one of them, so he's trying to get the Toss range because it's the higher level right now, but wasn't able to close that distance set. K1 Hector trying to push it, but kill. Chris Luck once again tries to get aggressive on Emo, and that means Kaka pounces again with a killing spree. Kaka has been tearing it up this game.
Really nice rotation. Not just killing the puck once, but they get him on the TP as well. So all of a sudden, Chris Luck will have absolutely no game. And Puck is not one of those heroes like Magnus that can just go to the jungle and recover. You need to snowball. And you look at the CS, he's already out-denied in comparison to his creep kills, and he's died twice. Bottle was still a pipe dream. This is an Arc Warden of Emo free farming.
There's no other way to say it. This is looking like a disaster for Beastcoast. We said at the end of game 1 they could not afford to lose 3 lanes, and it's looking like they just might. Top is the best lane for Beastcoast right now, and JT still has 22 CS as the offlaner.
Not much to comment on. And the concern is that, Beastcoast, who's really going to be making the plays, right? You have a K1 Hector Doom in one and Lelis on the Underlord in the other side lane. It's really just the Puck that can make moves, and his game is by far the worst of any of his cores, and I believe he's just died again.
Chris Luck silenced is going to be able to get off the wing. Rip to dodge some of that damage, but with the flux and the right clicks from Kaka, it's too much. Stinger is going to try and turn things around here. The Tempest hoping to be able to help Kaka, but the toss over. Onto the okay, it's not going to be enough to kill the Arc Warden. It brings him a little bit low, but now it's actually the turnaround onto Schofield. The Spark Wraith lands on a Stinger instead, though. Good job by him, tanking some of the damage, preventing the damage onto Schofield.
That was really well played by Emo. He was tanking tower with his clone as that went on and constantly casting spells from both. Kaka now TP's mid to collect some free XP and place a handy lane ward. You can see the emphasis they have on this lane. They already have one behind the tower, now one in front of it as well. Not just protecting the Arc Warden, but keeping a tab on the enemy's playmaker. Really good decision.
It's K1. But I feel like level 6, he's not going to level Doom. No, he's not. This man is serious about his farm. With a 3-2-1 build, 0 in his main sec. Puck in some serious trouble once again. Has to stay near the creep wave at the same time to be able to dodge some of this damage, and has to jump away from the Spark Race. Will be able to get out this time around, but they are just pressuring him and making sure he doesn't get any levels whatsoever. See Schofield trying to get the last hit onto the Tempest double for some of that bounty gold, but it evaporates before he can kill it.
And look at Kaka. He's just playing this area of the map, and he threatens mid, and he had vision of Chris Luck as well. So if he had wandered forwards, would have just been caught with the silence. He probably dies right after. I like the build. 1-2-2 on the sky. Extra points in silence. Super value, not just for the damage amp for your Arc Warden's abilities as well, but obviously you're playing against the Puck.
The silence is critical in being able to get the kill on this mid laner, but the mid laner is gone, and it's Schofield who almost tanks another death here for Beastcoast. 5-1 top lane. They do actually level up Doom. Hey, Hector, are you going to get a kill because of that, or is it going to be denied? No, the slept up Lich was unable to stop the Doom from killing JT. Back over to mid lane. Puck once again. Schofield quite low as well. Tempest double chasing both of them away. 4 Wraith Bands on this Arc Warden.
I was going to say, it's a really cool build. He has so much stat.
Okay, Stinger is going to set this Nightmare up. Schofield's going to toss him over to Chris Luck. Chris Luck, they don't have a fall. They do have the Avalanche there in time to be able to stop that TP Emo. Misreading the situation, will die underneath the tower. Lelis survives at bottom as well. But a duel on a Stinger. They do get their first duel win for IG.
Yeah, really nice movement from JT. And as always, IG, they're doing a great job of whenever a core moves, has to heal, rotates out, there's a support to take the lane under tower. Kaka was just once again taking some free XP, and now he's got level 6. Suddenly the next duel on effectively any target, that's just going to be another kill. And bottom lane, because PL got off to such a great start, he's able to double up the CS of this Underlord all by himself. Already quite farmed with level 7 and max Phantom Rush available.
Yeah, Lelis just doesn't have much of a game, as you can see. He every single time he shows up in lane, he's getting Phantom rushed by the Phantom Lancer, and eventually it gets a little bit too low that he's forced to retreat entirely.
He almost got 6 on a Stinger. He's trying to make a move. He'd love to be able to kill this Phantom Lancer. And it's much easier said than done for this hero. Bane typically hates playing against illusion heroes.
Back over to mid lane, Evo challenging Chris Luck once again. He has to jump away from those spark race. The patience wasn't up. Is he going to die to it now as the second one's laid out? Looks like Chris Luck will escape again, as he does have his spaceship, so even if the spark race were on top of him, he'd be good. Stinger, as you said, has some issues with all his single target damage with illusion heroes, and that's why Fly was able to chase him away. Oh, actually lands back inside the pit. Fly, his real hero has been discovered, but there is going to be Kaka to be able to intercept and slow down Lelis. They'll be able to pick up the bounty room, but Kaka is going to be chased away and won't be able to nab that outpost. So it's going to be even Firestorm laid out. Oh, the damage quickly taking out Stinger, but they do have the coil onto the two of them. It's all worth it if they can get the Phantom Lancer kill, which they do. Chris Luck with the Waning Rift gets the kill. They shifts out the concussive shot and escapes rather cleanly, leaving Lelis to take the outpost.
Yep, 1-for-1 trade now, so not bad for Beastcoast. They're going to claim the bottom right as IG claimed the top left. Immediate smoke from Stinger. He just hit 6. They want to make a move ASAP. Looks like JT is the target.
With the Fiend's Grip and a completely isolated off-laner, this should be an easy kill. But they don't even need that. If they're going to go for the Doom on a JT, there is some TP rotations coming in from IG, both on the tower and the outpost, but both are going to be too slow.
Nice job there from Fly waking himself up with the illusion. And a real TP in from Emo. I like this. Typically, Arc Wardens don't like to get involved. We saw yesterday, EG played it effectively just completely passively. I like this build and the playstyle from Emo. 4 Wraith Bands, look at this here, almost 1,400 HP. Like, it's 11 minutes into the game, and when he pops the clone, that'll also be benefiting from significantly increased durability, and you can play aggressively. You do a lot of damage in the early game.
Chop it away, Fly is going to try and surround this tower, cut down the trees to make it uncomfortable for Beastcoast to try and defend, and that's why Beastcoast isn't even going to approach that lane. They're going to smoke up, run through mid, because Lelis is trying to do the same on the other side of the map. It'd be great if they can get a kill somewhere here. JT trying to go for the duel, but is stuck inside the coil. Now the supports are going to be able to close that distance with the Fiend's Grip. There is going to be a TP in from the Lich, but they toss away the Legion Commander underneath the tower, making it nice and easy.
Not bad at all. 7-6. JT game. He started off with a quick duel, but just died a couple times in rapid succession. Bottom room going to go the way of Chris Luck. Has coil and 45, looking to haste towards bottom. One downside of the Beastcoast lineup, they don't really have much tower push. Their team fighting is solid for sure. They can find kills, but it's tough to collect objectives afterwards.
They will soon have an overwhelming strength coming from K1 Hector, but they don't have Hector here in the bottom lane where they're trying to go for the kill on the Kaka, but now the puck has been silenced, unable to commit, paying retreat. But they've still got this tower kind of surrounded, and IG, they did not bring a whole lot of reinforcements, just JT. That's because Emo's trying to kill Schofield on the other side of the map, but Chris Luck still trying to go for this on a Skywrath Mage, dodges into the trees, needs the help of his allies here, especially as he silenced. A concussive shot, though, not landing on Chris Luck is important there, but it does slow down Stinger, allowing Kaka to get that kill instead. Beastcoast just entirely wrong read on that situation. Thought they could be aggressive, but Chris Luck leads Stinger into a trap.
Yeah, really nice there from Chris Luck. He saw the Lich coming and knew that it was not a good decision to orb forwards. Instead, he just farms an extra creep with them TPs home. And I should hopefully give a shout out to Stinger, because he did certainly save his core's life there with that Hex at the cost of his own.
As we saw from the relic timing, we know that K1 Hector is very close to his Radiance, and this is Beastcoast's most successful strategy to date throughout the last years, when K1 Hector is a sizable amount of net worth ahead of everybody else. And here he's 2K on Phantom Lancer.
He has 121 CS, and yeah, as you said, 2K gold. I know a lot of that's because he maxes Devour, but still, he has Radiance. It's 13.5 minutes.
Well, he maxed Devour, and he did the Scorched Earth damage talent as opposed to the last game where he went to movement speed. So that's going to help him clear through those neutral creeps even faster, and leading to such a large lead.
He always manages to find a way to just absolutely enormous.
A minute faster than anyone at this tournament, but there's going to be the duel, and okay, Chain Frost and the Skywrath Mage Ultimate just to make sure that they do win said duel.
The question is, do you get aggressive with this Doom? He's more durable thanks to that ice armor, 1600 HP, but does he farm, try and accelerate? What timing do you make your move as Beastcoast? That is the question, because he still dies to the magic damage in the duel. And Atos on Kaka.
Yeah, you can see it right there. Sizable chunk taken out by the concussive shot. They are going to be able to get the coil there. Look for that toss away. That's why JT is desperately trying to get away from Schofield. Eventually it's going to break. They've committed so much though. K1 Hector actually getting tossed away. He's going to be saved. He was certainly dead inside that Ripper, but Schofield with the clutch toss.
That was so sick. Hector is so much net worth. You cannot allow him to die, not just because of the bounty that IG would get, but then it slows down his pace, right? He can clear an entire jungle in just one respawn timer. And as you said, Schofield wisely not using the toss on JT saves the day. Look at the vision, though, placed already by IG. Again, Atos up on the sky already. Him plus anybody's going to find a kill. Now you've got 3 wards around this bottom area of the map.
Hey, you got a lot of Atos, but Lelis, he found a rod of Atos inside the jungle. A clumsy net, a perfect item for an Underlord. Now he can chain stun people underneath the Pit of Malice. You just pit first, then clumsy net. They're going to get caught again as the clumsy net fades away.
And oh my god, of all the items to find, another shawl. I'm sure it'll go straight to Kaka. 8% spell amp.
Schofield is trying to juke and jive as slow as he is, but he feels like, oh, thank God, I just escaped, but a smoke comes from the 2 supports that are running. K1 Hector really trying to pull him up. That magic damage is too much for him to handle. Just the Radiance. It's not enough for Beastcoast. If they want to be able to fight with this Doom, they're going to need something more, but Emo, the late game on board. Oh, nice avalanche to top on top of 2 of them. That's a really nice one, but they need a little bit more damage on Kaka, and Lelis' clumsy net wasn't good enough here. Both of them limp away, sub 100 HP. Kaka, they just need one hit. They're going to fight him in time. Cuts it down. Lelis hunts down Kaka and claims that dominating kill streak. Meanwhile, Stinger does manage to grab Ollie as well.
Yeah, nice outplay there from Stinger. He kind of juked back and forth. Ollie was trying to get in for the Nova and Gaze, but outranged by the brain cell. Ends up trading his life. And we haven't seen Fly much, but that's because he's been in the jungle just farming away. He has the defusal finished in spitting distance now of K1 only 1,000 behind, who it looks like it will be a BKB next item for the Doom. I like that decision because then he's nigh invulnerable. But as we saw, this isn't even level 12 Skywrath. In just the space of an Atos, he went from 100 to 0.
Now, I know neither one of us are Arc Warden players, but it is interesting how the philosophy on Arc Warden has changed with this recent setup of just maxing out these Wraith Bands and then going for an early Maelstrom. You're entirely focusing on Arc Warden being a mid-game hero. That can, of course, scale into the late game, but the Arc Wardens of old, they were all about Hand of Midases and Boots of Travels and farming.
I think it's easier to do that when you have a PL, though, right? Like, you can trust that Fly is going to be able to take this into the late game, and I don't feel like you can afford to run 2 cores just in the jungle through the mid game. You want to get aggressive, and it's the same thing with Emo's Leshrac, right? He went for this more fighting style of play and got involved, and I really like that he's doing that because his supports need somebody with them. Lich Skywrath can't just roam through the jungle safely, and the Legion Commander not yet closing on a blink, not even going for one yet, so...
It's very similar to the way we talk about how Beastcoast, their most successful strategies are with K1 Hector, with the gigantic lead being the hard anchor. IG feels like their most successful strategy is where Emo just fully focuses on mid-game and creating space, not necessarily being that hard mid-carry that other teams like to run.
Indeed. They take top tier 2, they play some nice vision. I expect them to just leave Fly now in the top dire jungle, and the rest of the squad just can continue to hunt. Go chase Beastcoast out of the Radiant Woods as they look to shut out middle. A big advantage for IG right now is that they have their mid tower still at near full HP, whereas Beastcoast's fell some time ago. They have so much map control in this top portion of the map, Beastcoast can't really play inside of IG's woods as effectively.
Full-out pipe for Lelis. That'll certainly help him, both him and the rest of his team, especially that Doom, dealing with that intense amount of magic damage coming from IG. Still trying to rush a BKB for K1 Hector. The rest of his team is going to smoke up while he farms away.
They're just playing enemy jungle. This is the way to do it. You have a slight edge on the side of IG, but a lot of that net worth is on the Doom.
Successfully break the smoke without being spotted here until, Ollie tries in vain to get away from Beastcoast, but there's too many of them. Still though, a 5 position going down for a smoke, not bad at all for IG.
Yep, they're still farming the PL, and turn, of course, so is K1. Still playing with that ice armor creep. As soon as he gets BKB, he will be invulnerable. The question is, does his team have the damage? Radiant's hero plus Puck is always solid, but a lot of pressure on Chris Luck to have some pretty impressive spell casting. Went for the rush to Yules. And there's no blink initiation anytime soon for the side of Beastcoast because you actually have a force staff picked up by Schofield. I imagine that's just primarily for the Atos, right? You want to make sure that nobody can just get 100 to 0 in the duration of that lockdown Skywrath ultimate combo.
For sure. There's also the possibility of sometimes some cheeky offensive force staffs underneath the coil.
And we've got a pipe finished on low. It's one of the few games I will admit this is by far a need for a rushed pipe because you're just playing against so much magic damage.
Yeah, don't consider anything else. BKB is done for Beastcoast. So this is the timing window where Beastcoast is very strong in team fights. They're expected to beat IG in the fights. It's a question of how much can they get done during this window before the Phantom Lancer starts getting too big.
He's going to have his man to complete in just a few moments. Fly finishing it up in the jungle. And look, it is one of Katie's favorite neutral items, the Philosopher's Stone onto the Lich.
Lelis with an Invis rune is going to be able to spot a pretty important kill, Kaka. He has been very impactful this game. He's going to be able to drop his combination. Of course, Lelis will make sure to tank it with him. They also managed to catch Ollie and JT back-to-back kills for Beastcoast. So sure enough, right as they hit their big power spike, they find several pickoffs. See what they're able to accomplish with that, though.
That is huge. Yeah, as we said, they have very hard times taking objectives. Towers, they don't have any natural enemies on the Beastcoast lineup right now. So they're going to find kills and then just look to hit top. As you can see, it's just, slowly hit them with these strength heroes. Emo puts in his clone.
That clone is awfully tanky too. He has the 350 health talent on top of all those Wraith bands, so he's not really in danger of TPing it in and immediately feeding away that gold. He can successfully defend towers. Beastcoast not going to bother with that though. If they can catch Fly, it would be really big, and Schofield is managing to find the right one, but he tosses the wrong Manta illusions back. We do manage to get the coil on the Phantom Lancer though. You'll have to be able to get rid of the silence. Kaka, he's not able to turn any damage out here. He's going to be slept up. Chris Lock trying to deal with some of these illusions, but he doesn't have the damage, and the illusions at half health chase away the rest of Beastcoast.
Yeah, K1 didn't take the free Uber out because he wanted to stick up top, but unfortunately has to call for a taxi anyway. He has TP'd the bottom lane, but he's too late. Oh my
Hello. He thought he could just hang out there, but sentries and stuff. Spotting his shadow amulet, full meal there now for the Arc Warden. Fly, not bothering to fight anybody, can still farm and just push away from Beastcoast at all times is what IG's game plan is going to be, right?
And you can see Beastcoast's game plan, which is just run at this Phantom Lancer with your Underlord Doom. This is what they did in the past against the PL, because they know that into the super late game, PL starts to outscale them, but for now, you don't really have the ability to maintain illusion armies against the Rain of Fire and the Radiance.
And that's where they really need that extra mobility, right? They need to make sure the puck can actually grab people when they smoke close to them. They got to get that strong initiation because right now IG is just dodging fights non-stop. If they can get another Blink Dagger on the Tiny, I'm actually not sure what his item progression has been like.
Yeah. But you got one on Chris Luck now. That's key. He needed to go for the Yules first. You're playing against these silences. You've got to be able to get rid of it. And now you can hunt. It's just, again, it's so difficult because this mid tower is still standing for IG, so the entrances into really the entire map just get more complicated for Beastcoast. They do have a slight lead. A lot of that net worth, though, it's all on K1. This hero is going to just outfarm everybody else in the game. You rush the Radiance, you've got the Devour bonus gold talent. It's 350 every eat.
do you think about the Manta pickup? It's kind of interesting.
I mean, it's K1, right? You're gonna just farm extra waves. It is quite nice as well because you can dispel the Flux, the Silence of the Skywrath Mage. They'll also tank up the Lich ult for you. I mean, it just makes sense the way he plays Dota 2.
Chris Luck. He jumps to his orb right next to the Phantom Lancer. Now it's looking like he could get dueled out. Yeah, he couldn't jump far enough away. One duel for JT. An important pickoff for IG. That is just going to stall out Beastcoast's game more and more. Any little tiny core kill turns into a big window of IG pushing in waves, getting lots of map control, and Beastcoast struggling to get it back.
I just don't know if IG recognized like just how much this Doom is farming. He's using fire off cooldown, that Scorched Earth constantly on CD because K1 he's just farming everything, both sides of the jungle, multiple lanes. Has the Manta complete now, it looks to run towards mid lane as IG enter the Roche pit, but they don't have the greatest lineup for this. The Arc Warden certainly helps, but if Beast Coast can get wind of this, I'm sure they want to contest it. They still have that BKB edge on the Doom.
They've been looking for a team fight, man, and IG, in a way, are granting them the opportunity to do so, but Beast Coast doesn't see it. They're blind to it, and now that's going to be a Roshan taken for IG, and all of a sudden, this biggest power spike for Beast Coast is kind of stripped away. Now, I don't know if they want to take a fight.
I really like the timing on that. They entered the pit about 15 to 20 seconds before the bounty runes spawn, so you can expect Beast Coast is thinking runes. They're trying to control one half of the map. They're just in the Roche pit ignoring the bounties, and they're going to grab two of them anyway because Beast Coast was playing bottom side. Really nice move from IG. As you said, it removes the timing edge for Beast Coast. They wanted a fight, but now you're going to be playing into a PL with Aegis and the Basher up very early on, going Heart. No, he's actually going to go straight Abyssal first before the Heart.
Amo once again using his Tempest double to very obnoxious effectiveness in defending towers and almost killing K1 Hector as well. As you can see, though, is tanky enough to survive through all these attacks from Beast Coast and push the creep wave back.
I really like the item build. Again, not just for the Wraith Band spam, but the Dragonlance now. Just so many stats. 2,500 HP. And you can't even kill the clone. That is very troubling for Beast Coast. They find a Paladin Sword for IG, a Great of Fairy Fire for Chris Luck.
And they both found a Titan Sliver as well, which I feel like that's more effective because they have a Phantom Lancer, high amount of base damage. Sure. Oh, they actually gave it to the Legion Commander instead.
It's quite nice on the Doom as well. Both sides would have really loved a Craggy Cloak in this game, but nothing doing thus far.
Yeah.
Mid tower getting pressured by IG. TP's coming in though. We gotta be careful.
They're gonna be able to get the toll on. Lelis is gonna be slept up though. The illusion's helping to be able to take away that nightmare. Lelis survives through the duel, 4 stats away, but he's slowed down by the Fuse Blade. Eventually, Flyfly is gonna be able to get that kill. They got the Fiend's Grip on the real Phantom Lancer, but the rest of the team isn't helping him out right now because they're focused on killing this Legion Commander. They're gonna try and roll this Underlord back in. Flyfly at half health thanks to that Fiend's Grip is gonna go quickly take out Singer. They're running out of mana on the side of Beast Coast, which means they're also running out of damage, except Chris Luck, who came back into the fight and does manage to take away that Aegis. What about the second life, though? They are running out of steam here, and you can see it. They're going to have to force Snap, try and get back over to the high ground here. The Firestorm is out. The illusions are doing their work. Beast Coast, Schofield, as well as K1 Hector are low enough. They have to try and get back. They do successfully. So it wasn't the worst fight in the world. They got 2 kills. They took away an Aegis. They cost them a buyback on Lelis, though.
Yeah, but really, it could have been so much worse for them. Emo was playing that entire fight with an Arcane Rune. His hero never in danger. He's still outputting so much damage in the engagement. Played the high ground near the entire time. It's just, the longer fights go, the better it's going to be for IG, because Arc Warden and PL just simply do not run out of gas, whereas Beast Coast, once Coil Doom are on cooldown, you have some serious troubles. They didn't even get the Doom off in that fight, or rather, they did? I think
they did. They got it off on JT and killed him. And shout out to Singer for correctly identifying the real Phantom Lancer with the Fiend's Grip. That certainly helped their team fight a lot.
He's just going to get gone for it, much like the previous game where we saw the PL just going for the Lion.
Avalanche, they're going to try and get a toss back. No, they're going to turn into the river where there is that Tempest double. So they have to deal with that damage dealer, but no force out onto the high ground, and they can actually turn on to Schofield instead. The Tempest double once again surviving until it runs out of steam. They are going to be able to get the initiation on the back line. Beautiful initiation by JT. Catching Chris Luck. Now Leland's going to the CP out. No escape here. K1 Hector slows them down, and Kaka puts in the work.
Unbelievable. They're just playing so well, Cap. Like, just constantly outplaying Beastcoast throughout the fights. They're splitting the engagement on the multiple levels, and they're winning on all fronts. The team understands target selection. And Emo just, keeping his teammates alive, kiting back. As soon as the BKB runs out on the Doom, you're tanking, you farm. Sure, I look at the net worth, he's 4,000 ahead of the game, but you're not going to be able to move. And it's just a little over-aggressive, and your offensive force staffing in on Schofield. Now you're stuck in no man's land. You're all in on this illusion. He's effectively just baiting you in the river. Mid lane, we got a fight on our hands.
They are going to be able to find Big Bean's grip onto the real Phantom Line. So this is a massive kill, but the magnetic field is helping to protect him. The Doom is going to take onto him, but not a whole lot other damage. Schofield, he needs to be able to get a little bit closer. The Avalanche on top, he gets the kill. K1 Hector claims it with the Doom, and it is going to cost Schofield his life and dual damage going the way of JT. They're going to wake up Emo off the Nightmares Crystallock, as well as Schofield. They're actually going to buy back and try and attack Emo here. Stinger having a hard time dealing with these illusions. Crystallock is going to try and dodge a bit of the damage they're poking at him. They do have K1 Hector here as well, laying out some damage. Emo wants a little bit more, but won't be able to find a kill. It'll be Ollie who sees the opening with the Chain Frost, perhaps giving up his line to K1 Hector, though. Beastcoast, just as you think, they may be out of it. They win a really big team fight, claiming the 2 carries of IG.
Big buyback from Schofield there, specifically just finding the kill on the Phantom Lancer. I'm really loving the way JT's playing. I know he goes down there. They lose Emo anyway, but BKBing to break the sleep to try and keep fighting. If it weren't for the buyback on the Tiny, they might be able to turn that around. Really heads up play by Schofield. That's the Beastcoast special. They're never going to stay dead as supports if they have the option to replay the battle.
He had a nice trap set up for Kaka, but they don't have vision to finish off that kill. Lelis has no idea that he just TP'd away inside the trees.
And they find out a little too late. He will be able to finish up a Crimson Guard, though. You can see, once he was out of mana, the PL actually had a lot of trouble trying to finish him out, and that was before the Crimson. That active will be very effective at ensuring his team just stays alive through the illusion spam. 5k gold lead still for IG, even though K1 is so far ahead of the net worth. His team is behind, and that's troubling. When you consider that Doom is this far ahead, it really means the rest of his team is even further behind. If Puck gets dueled, if anyone but K1 gets dueled, they're most likely just dead.
You also have to question the effectiveness of this network on a Doom. 20k net worth on him, but it feels like the Phantom Lancer is stronger in team fights with only 17k.
Oh, yes, Doom has to be ahead, just the nature of the hero. And if you look at the itemization, most of these items are just for further farming. And yeah, sure, Heart will give you survivability, but it's the rest of your team that's getting targeted.
Okay, so there is some late game potential to the Doom. First of all, he has a very interesting talent, 175%
that's a very good point.
cleave. Don't think I've ever seen anybody take that.
I think we might here today.
But today, I mean, against a Phantom Lancer as a carry Doom, you might as well. On top of that, there's always the Aghanim Scepter you get later on to the game.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point, actually. This is perhaps where the Beastcoast Theorycraft really planned for, because we've seen them try Doom against PL before, but it never got to this stage of the game.
Right.
But in theory, I've always talked about how you want a physical damage carry that can scale against PL that deals with illusions. There's very few of them, but Doom with that talent at 25 could arguably be the best one. 175% cleave, that's a lot. Yeah.
But it's like his damage per second isn't that high because his attack speed is kind of slow. He doesn't really have Daedalus or anything.
But he's going to get a wolf at some point. Right now he's still playing with the ice armor, but I imagine once he's 25, he'll switch to that damage. It effectively adds a venge aura to your hero.
JT, he's been doing this beautifully. He's caught Crystallock several times here, and with the recent pickup of the Shadow Blade, finds him again.
It's the right itemization. He got the BKB early on to secure kills. Now he's just going Shadow Blade because he wants to just hunt. That's his role here on the team.
He spotted him. Hit him with the dust. Ollie. They could Fiend's Grip if they have to, but I'd rather save that ultimate. Just kill him with normal abilities.
I'd like to see, K1, he's going for the Shivas, really good against the PL. He also is certainly going to have some mana issues as these fights drag on. But someone I want to see with an Assault Cuirass.
Yeah, he thought about building AC and then felt Shivas was better for him. Do you agree with that?
Depends. I feel like if you're going for the cleave talent, you just want AC for raw damage output, and you just hit PL in the mouth, hope to win the exchange. Shivas is better for initiation, helps your squad cheaper, and it ensures you'll have the mana to get your spells off. But yeah, there's arguments for both. It's really just player preference. He's already got the recipe, so I imagine he's made his decision. Roshan spawning in 4 seconds. There's a courier placed above it by IG. Beastcoast have no clue when this would be coming up. And they'll immediately hit on IG.
IG have been keeping a nice, fast pace to this game. As soon as they felt strong enough, they continued to do so by instantly going for the Roshan, and Beastcoast either none the wiser or not feeling comfortable going for that fight. They are so close to that level 25 on Doom. After all, looks like they're just going to keep farming for a bit.
Going for the attack range instead of the spark rate cooldown, so I expect people to keep playing the same way. Outskirts of the fight. Keep trying, just mostly playing with the clone and trusting in his PL to be the hard carry. But if you look at the way this game's breaking down, IG have 3 cores that are continuing to scale to do massive amounts of physical damage. You already have 108 dual victory damage on your LC, so no one really going to be falling off. Whereas on Beastcoast, it's just the Doom. You've got lockdown, sure, but if you look at their 2 through 5 positions, it's effectively just all magic damage, and the net worth is not impressive. So,
particularly since, you know, we've seen Puck go into late game look kind of good, but he's so far behind in net worth, right, that it would be hard for him to be able to reclaim that. If they can push this game another 20 minutes, he gets level 25 before 20 GPM, then all of a sudden maybe we see him develop some of those late game damage items.
Oh yeah, a lot of things can change once you hit 420. It's just a question of whether it'll be in time. They're going to gank the clone middle, but the Mjolnir buff, man, is he actually... No, he'll die. They're 300 gold. You'll take that on Chris Luck. He just finished the Lincolns. Let's see. JT going to take the bottom outpost as IG rotate towards bots. The only tier 2 remaining, and they're most likely going to be looking for a fight here. Closing in on 25 on PL. You just have a Doom a little bit away. He wants to finish that off ASAP, I'd imagine.
Lancer is going to buy out his heart, it's looking like, and Shiva's going to be bought out by K1 Hector.
Yeah, you gotta get items on K1. There's no way you can afford to save for buyback, which might seem counterintuitive to the unexperienced, but if you're a Doom this tanky, you need to just all in, because if you die in a fight, your team's losing it. You're not going to be the target, and there's the cleave we were hoping we would see. Now I just need to find a wolf creep, and he's ready to rock and roll.
Oh, meanwhile, Phantom Lancer just got a big upgrade in his own in the critical strike.
Cool. Yeah, most of the time you see Doppel, but in this game, I just don't think he feels like he needs that survivability tool. He wants to be able to go toe-to-toe with this Beastcoast lineup as they smoke towards him.
They smoke out. They do manage to find the real one with a Fiend's Grip on top of him as well. Did they even need the duel? Well, they should have done it. Now he's going to pop it on to JT instead as JT bails out the Phantom Lancer with the BKB. He may still have the chance to survive. Chris Luck throwing more damage onto him. He does end up falling. No chance and a neutral denied. Can they get back to it? Oh, no, no. Hector alone. Manta, Schofield, he's trying to get him out. Toss him over to the neutral camp. That'll certainly help Schofield. He may be left behind, but IG, they really want to be able to take down this Doom. K1 Hector turning with his BKB. Looks to be able to get a kill on one of the supports, but can't do it. Backs up now. BKB fading out. Here comes the slows, but here comes the rest of Beastcoast as well. Pushing IG back, except for Fly, who continues to go forward. Now he's going to turn on to K1 Hector. He's down to half health, but K1 Hector with his Radiance is doing a lot of damage to this IG squad. He starts laying out the clean damage on a Fly. He's rather tanky himself. Both these carries at half health in a slog of a team fight where Lelis is slowing down all of it with the Firestorm damage as well. Chris Luck in the back line tried to go for Kaka, missed that kill, and instead dies 1v1 to the opposing support.
Really nice. Buyback from JT ends up actually landing a dual kill. Really cool there. Chris Luck didn't see him coming. The Shadow Blade. His leg
down. He slept himself. He tried to go for the toss back there. Fails the initiation. Fly flies now free. Oh, K1 Hector immediately showing himself into the back line once again. But the Glimmer Capes and Force Saps are helping IG play away from Pain. You can see always playing the distance. Wow, we have Fly committing for the kill, but he's already dropped the line. He still has the second life, Chris Luck. He bought back earlier, can't afford to die here, but he managed to catch so many heroes blocking them two together. They will manage to get both JT and Ollie. No buybacks there, and Fly, he's fighting his damage. He's being utterly effective. He's being ignored right now. They're going to turn, see if they can deal with the Aegis, and then turn back on Emo. The important hero that they want to deal deal with. They just ignore the Phantom Lancer, bring down Emo, and now at their leisure, they'll see if they can hunt down Fly as he's got no support whatsoever. Making a break for it, K1. He's on his way. Schofield out of mana to be able to catch him anymore. And the TP out. Ooh. Nicely placed behind the trees, so Beastcoast was too late to spot him.
That is unbelievable. I don't even know how to track what's happening in that fight. So much going down, too many colors on the screen. It's IG pushing up the high ground, but we have a buyback from Chris Luck. They immediately turn tail and run. K1 just does so much damage, like they're targeting him, but this is not real. Like, he's keeping the Ice Armor. You're not actually going to be able to kill this Doom. And you can see Fly out of mana, fighting with the Aegis, but his offensive power is limited, and they're just getting wrecked.
As soon as they lose their mana, I mean, like, Fly just doesn't look like he can do anything against the Underlord, who's limiting his damage, and then these heroes are so tanky.
It's Schofield again, though, with the double combo into the pit. Firestorm finds the 2 kills. Sure, they're both going to buy back, but it's a 5-1-3 now, so IG are forced to run.
Yeah, last time they had the Aegis and Cheese. Beastcoast, they're going to be feeling themselves. They're going to have to fight through a Parakeet Tower, but eventually they should be able to bring it down. The Chain Frost is going to come in, as well as the Skywrath Mage Ultimate. A lot of damage, but being split. A lot between the Beast Coast heroes. They're all going to remain quite healthy here and going to try and go for the kill, but Conkai is able to get away. They do have the Fiend's Grip out, but they're actually going to choose to Dark Rift away, resetting as Emo is coming back alive in 2 seconds.
They're just doing such a great job. Beast Coast, it's all about the choke point control. You've got Pit, you've got Coil. We've seen a couple times now Schofield tossing into Grip, tossing into Pit. They got to keep that up. It's the spread fights that IG will look to dominate in, because they have so much, right? It makes the supports positioning easier. A duel could come out of nowhere. Illusions will be all over the map. But it's
that is going to be a winning duel for JT. 160 damage and a gem claimed from Stinger.
That's really annoying to give away, because you're playing against 2 Glimmer Capes on the IG supports. K1 certainly too farm to carry the section at this point.
Absolutely. A pit goes down. Leeless trying to get away. Nice toss back, and then the blink, the clumsy net on the real one. The man to dodge that. He's immediately going to try and break the coil to get out of here. Defensive force snaps and Glimmer Capes. Once again, Beast Coast still tracking him though. They have Chris Luck, but has he gone too far? They try and turn onto him, but immediately he phase shifts, and now the real Phantom Lancer's got that Fuel Scepter, and they're going to be able to get the duel on him. He's going to be bought a little bit of time by JT with that press the attack, and they've gotten onto their high ground. Beast Coast knows not to play into that area. Even if they got the duel or Doom on the real carry, it didn't matter. Playing into that high ground is too damn dangerous. They give up Schofield, but that's it.
He's got a buyback as well. And again, he's just he's one of those players, those tinies, that always looks for tosses for more than the combo damage. Either it's allies to safety or enemies into harm's way. Really nice job. Any big items coming up? So we got Aeon Disc on Chris Luck. That's going to be big. Orb of Destruction on the Underlord.
Silver Edge for Hector. I'm really thinking that he just wants to be able to get there on top of Emo. Is that what it is?
Looks all right, yeah. You want to get the Artward, and the PL's just too tough to take down.
Oh, the damage Fly. He's actually trying to go to the back line. He's going to ignore Emo and Hector for now. Does take it in front of Blade Shot with the duel. Out on the Leeless. They do manage to bring him down. He does have buyback and a Fiend's Grip onto the real Phantom Lancer. They caught him once again. They have the Inferno Blade on top of him. So much damage that it looks like he's going to fall. K1 Hector gets a little bit low with his BKB. He's trying to get away, but the Invictus isn't good enough. The Sentry just barely in place to be able to find him. He's going to buy back as well as Leeless and look to be able to target for Emo. Emo popping his BKB, standing and fighting here with 2 different magnetic fields. He goes for the TPL with his BKB. They don't have a disable to stop it. IG retreats. They lose their Lich, but the important hero Emo does manage to get out. Looks like JT going to be on as well by Chris Luck. Beast Coast buybacks are effective in getting multiple kills.
Yeah, but they've used the buybacks, though. That's the key. Every single player on Beast Coast now with buyback on cooldown. Only Pucks at 311 is under 6 minutes remaining. And Roshan spawning in 2 minutes. They won't be able to transition into anything other than perhaps some objectives. But you've got buybacks on PL. You've got one available. No, Lichen, they know this too. Lichen, the Legion Commander should, neither of them available for the full respawn. So it's a 5-on-3 at best for IG.
At the same time, they should know that Emo does have his buyback. Leeless, you gotta be careful. He is the Uber out of this situation. Beast Beastcoast, they're actually going to TP him back, and he's going to Dark Red back in, which means they're fully committing at this point. They're going to be able to get the coil on 2 of them, but they're focused on the objectives right now. The repair kit makes the melee barracks too tough to kill, so Beastcoast start backing it up.
Yep, straight to the shrine, though. Try and acquire some map control. Roshan spawning soon. That's going to be the next big objective. And
Curry gets the jam.
I think that might have been on the way back from picking it up from the battlefield earlier. Did the long journey, only to hand it right back over to Beastcoast. You said Silver Edge on the Doom. Really just a positional tool, but this is just K1 Hector special, okay? Radiance, Silver Edge, Strength Hero. It's the name of the game.
The old formula, it works for every Strength Hero.
Well, when he's playing them, it does. And there's a DD bottom. Perhaps that would help out. I'm surprised he's still playing with this ice armor. It's way more effective earlier on in the game. And it's definitely annoying to deal with because all these PL illusions get slowed when they attack an ally that's got the protective frost on top of them. But I'm concerned that they're going to run out of damage. You can see Emo, with he and his clone popping BKB, you don't really have the ability to take them down. In fact, the clone almost killed Lelis by himself. And it despawned. They weren't really able to take it down.
They had not finished up their tier 3 items. They got the leveler onto Lelis, just picked up the Witless Shaco as well as Minotaur Horn. So, sadly the Illusionist cake.
Here's the big thing though. We're talking,
They'll find their initiation on duel onto K1 Hector. They blow everything they have because they saw the buyback from last time. They know he's dead for 2 minutes. And he's 32,000 net worth. So effectively, right now, IG's up by 33K. They can do whatever they want. They can do Roshan pretty easily and then march high ground with time to work.
And you've got 25 on your Arc 2 for the Spark Wraith damage. They're starting to hit real hard. And for a full 100 seconds now, it is 5 on 4, as you said. 105K ahead at this point is IG with no doom.
Schofield and Chris Luck are both hitting the bottom tier 3. We'll see what IG does in response.
But this is big. Puck just finished his axe. We talked about how they don't have much to do with the IG BKBs and the Arc Ward or the LC. All of a sudden, how many times have we seen tossbacks, right? Coil tossback on anybody. That's a 4.5 second stun. There's no cleanse mechanic with the exception of JT's Legion Commander. He's got to be the target, and that's why IG put the Aegis on him. It's a really cool decision under the circumstances.
Beastcoast, rather, they're just looking to be able to slow down IG. The Firestorm doing good work here. They are going to go on to this Legion Commander. The Aegis is down. As long as they survive through this one, the Minotaur Horn helping Schofield a little bit, but he gets bashed up by Firefly. Fall off the fist blade as well to sleep. Buys him a momentary respite, but the Glimmer Cape is going to be good. Now, stuck inside the pit. He has to actually walk away from it and deal with the buildings instead. Beastcoast doing a good job delaying. 35 seconds until K1 Hector is back up. Stinger gets a little bit too close to Emo, but a Glimmer Cape once again saving him. Initiation on the Lelis. Lelis in trouble, dulled, and dead. Now he's dead with no buyback for 2 minutes, and the initiation into the backline. Fly is going to be able to get the kill on Stinger as Delan chases him down into the fountain. 15 seconds till Hector's back up, but Chris Luck as well as Schofield are running out of steam here. The tier 4s are being taken out so quickly. The throat is exposed. They can't put a stop to this damage. They're going to jump on Ollie. Fly. He ignores it. He's going to go for the hero kills. They want Beastcoast out of here, and they're going to show they're stronger, they're better, and they will take this.
What a game. IG, never say die. Beastcoast, they fight, they end up with no buybacks. And at the end of the day, a cool smoke gank, they find a kill, K1 dead. And before he's able to respawn, it's GG.